Welcome to Slasher Sunday. We're staying consistent. We're staying on it. Slasher Sunday. I'm going to make sure, even if Kaylee ain't here, I'm doing it, man. I love Slasher Sunday. So, all right, we start with an open. I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying I am dedicated to it. I thought at one point I had covered anything worth covering, and then I really started looking through my Slasher Sundays, and I saw so many blank spots, and there's so many more. We haven't even gotten started.
We have a lot.
We have a lot left. We've done 5% of what there is to do. All right, we got an opening scream and a wet t-shirt. That's a good opening. Although the wet t-shirts, outside of I think one, are not white.
Yeah, they're not. They're not white.
Do these girls not know how to do a wet t-shirt contest? Like, if the shirt's not white, you ain't right. You can't see nothing. In this, you cannot see anything. The one girl, you kind of see something.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of a wet t-shirt contest is literally to see their boobs. That is the literal only purpose of it.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody's like, oh, man, I want to see that shirt wet.
For fashion.
You know, anytime you've ever seen... I've seen wet t-shirt contests in person.
When?
They're always white.
When have you seen wet
we went to a... I forget where the hell we were. I very vividly remember like being at the place, but I can't remember what it was. No, but it was part of the show. Like, not the show, but like the... What does it matter? I've also been to a few strip clubs.
So many wet t-shirt contests.
I'm not, honestly. Weirdly, shockingly, I don't know if I've said this. I probably have said this on the channel. I've said a lot in the years that I've been doing this. But I, weirdly, as somebody who talks about tits endlessly on this channel, I do not like strip clubs at all. I refuse to go to them. I like when my friends are like have bachelor parties, or like when I was young and guys used to want to go to them, I had less than zero interest. And every time I'm in there, I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate being at strip clubs. It is not appealing to me at all. I don't even like them in movies. For some reason. I don't like it. I'm sure it's because my mother was a stripper. I can only imagine she was literally a stripper almost my entire childhood.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
I would assume it is. Anyways, moving on from that. There is a very interesting moment in this film that I'm kind of fascinated with, because I've literally never seen anybody do it ever. And I was an alcoholic that went to the bars for years. And during that opening sequence, when they're panning through the big huge party, which we've never been to, right? Like, you've never been to like parties. A wild fraternity or sorority party with like hundreds of people everywhere and people are screaming and keg standing. I've been to parties. I've been to parties where maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30 people are there, but hundreds like they portray in the movies. Are those real? Does this really exist? You've never been to anything like that.
I've never
you would die.
Yes.
You would die in that situation.
I would never want to go to something like that.
Never.
No.
Oh my God. I could barely get Kaylee to go out to the grocery store half the time. She hates being out in public with people.
Yeah.
So a party like that is like your worst nightmare.
Yeah, not something I'm at all interested in.
Anyway, the thing I'm referring to here is there's a guy who's pouring a beer into a cup, and he's shaking it like
weird.
A salt shaker as he's pouring it. It's so bizarre. And like, so obviously cans of beer are carbonated, and you want to like tilt the glass to try to eliminate the head that goes, so that you don't just get a whole bunch of foam on top of the glass. So you angle it and you pour it and you try to smoothly, and then, tilt the glass. You know how it goes. This guy is purposely shaking the beer as he's pouring. It's open already. It's not like he's shaking and he's going to play a prank. No, it's open. He's pouring it and he's shaking it. I'm like, did they hire like a Mormon that has never poured a beer in his entire life, or any carbonated beverage into a cup in his entire life?
I don't know what that is. It's so bizarre.
You think he's nervous? Because he's being filmed and he's like
yeah, I think
shaking.
he's like overthinking what he's doing, and is somehow doing that instead. Or maybe the point is to get it like foamy. I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that's what he wants.
Who wants foam?
I don't know.
Foam literally just is nothing. It's air. You just go to, and there's like nothing there. You can feel like the wet. It almost feels like it's like spit.
Moist.
Like where it's just like the there's nothing to it. It's just it kind of it's like if you took a spritz and sprayed it in the air and then ran your tongue through it. Like there's nothing.
I don't know why
he
does that. I'm gonna say he got nervous, like you said. And he just was like overthinking it. Was like, this is how
maybe
a human pours beer.
Maybe we are dumb. Maybe that's a way to like eliminate foam that we're not aware of.
It doesn't though, does it?
I wouldn't think so.
What?
I wouldn't think so. There's gonna be people in the comments that are like, "Bro,
this is what
you didn't know. This is how we do it. If you knew anything about, I know plenty about drinking, but I never poured like." To me, what's the point of having a can of beer if I'm going to pour it into a cup?
Yeah.
Right? It's just like...
It's to get the foam.
It's a waste.
You get the foam on top. Like if you pour the can of beer into the cup and then you like...
You're also eliminating some of the carbonation.
Yeah.
Like if you just drink it straight out of the can, you get the carbon. I like the carbonation. So some people might like it flatter, but that's what gives it the flavor. I don't like beer flavor anyway. So like, I like the carbonation. Flat beer is the most disgusting shit ever.
Yeah.
I don't like how beer tastes in general. I just drank it to get drunk, but it tastes a hell of a lot better carbonated than it does flat. So I want to keep as much carbonation in the drink as humanly possible. So I prefer cans. So pouring is just it's a weird step that you're just dirtying a cup to get rid of a can, and then the cup is usually like got an open top. It's harder to hold and whatever. Anyways, moving on. All right. So. Fun fact, this has actually been covered on Mythbusters. When you shoot a lock with a gun, it does not open it. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. It can damage the lock to some degree, but typically it doesn't open. In movies, they always do it. In video games, it is always how you open everything in video games. You just shoot the lock and it comes right off.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's funny. But anyway, I love that this guy takes a handgun, goes right up close to it. This is why
with a whole
guns and alcohol do not mix.
Yeah.
Because he has a gaggle of college students surrounding him within a foot or two radius of him, just completely surrounding him. And he holds a gun point blank range right at a metal object and pulls the trigger. The odds of a ricochet hitting one of the people surrounding him are so high.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's a big metal gate with a big metal lock. He takes a gun, holds it very close to the lock, shoots it with 100 people surrounding him in all directions. Oh my God. Are you trying to kill somebody?
Yeah, I know. It's so dangerous, but it works.
Oh, of course.
So there's no problem.
It's a movie.
But yeah, like somebody would have gotten hurt.
Yeah.
If that happened in real life, of course.
You know what's interesting about this film that we didn't even mention? I mean, obviously the big star of the film is one Linda Blair.
Yes.
This is actually might be the first film I've seen her in as an adult where, number one, her tits aren't like on full display. She loves to throw those things around because she has these ginormous tits for her tiny little body. But also, she does not in the film ever appear very small. She's always very obviously extremely little.
She might be wearing heels in this. I don't really know.
But in this movie, they never frame her in a way where it's obvious. And that might be a like something she asked the director for.
Maybe.
Like, I'm tired of looking like a little tiny thing. Can I just look like a normal person in a movie?
Normal.
Yeah, normal. But she does. She looks so small.
Yeah.
Like in Summer of Fear.
Sure, yeah.
She looks so tiny.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, I think she looks like probably like I said, she's probably wearing heels in this, obviously.
I'd have to look at her
Or maybe
feet.
her co-stars are just all closer to her height. I don't know.
That was one of her demands. She's like, nobody over 5 foot. I want to look normal.
There's not really any focus on her body or stature at all in this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just found that interesting because anytime I see Linda Blair, whether it's in like Savage Streets or, as I said, Summer of Fear or whatever, it's she is so little. She is so obviously like 4 foot something.
Yeah.
Like she is a tiny woman with these gigantic boobs. And in this one, she looks like a completely normal height girl, and she's wearing like full coverage, like nothing that accentuates any part of it. I would never notice. I would never know in a million years that she had big boobs or that she was short in
Yeah.
this film,
Yeah.
which is super interesting because it's like her persona as an adult. Like she used to do Playboy magazine, like she wasn't hiding these things.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a reversal of what we're normally used to with Linda Blair, but I think she's equally likable.
Yeah.
She's a very likable actress.
I
Love
agree.
seeing her in anything back in the day. And one of the big reasons I'm bummed that we're not getting like that proper Exorcist believer sequel.
Sure. So she
Exorcist,
was.
what was it called? Like
Mm,
Exorcist.
I don't remember what it was called.
I'll think of it. But yeah, obviously spoilers for the movie. It's been out for a couple of years and everyone fucking hated it. We didn't, but most everyone hated it, and now it's not going to happen. Deceiver, Exorcist
Ah,
Deceiver.
yes.
Um, we at the very end of it, Linda Blair comes out, and it teases that she's going to be, a big character in the
Yeah.
sequel. And it looks like we'll never get that. Although
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, maybe Mike Flanagan will tie it to the first one in some way, shape, or
Maybe.
form. I don't know. He might use Linda Blair. We don't know for sure.
Yeah.
I'd love him to. You know.
I would too.
But then again,
Um,
I don't know. He just let him do his own thing.
yeah, I mean, whatever he ends up doing, I'm sure will be wonderful. He hasn't had any misses with me yet, but yeah, I think Linda Blair is a very likable actress, and I think she does a good job in this. Honestly, though, I feel like the character, I like this. I think it was entertaining, but I did feel like the characters, aside from maybe, well, I don't know. I was gonna say I felt like they were kind of flat, but I like the like surfer guy. I thought he was
Yeah.
pretty funny, and the girl that he's with, who's supposed to be this like ditzy kind of like bimbo type of character who like doesn't know his name and all this stuff. Like she was pretty entertaining too. But Linda Blair's character and then the other guy are both very like straight, like just very regular people, and that was fine. That was fine. They played off of each other okay, but I guess I don't know. I guess maybe they're not as flat as I was thinking they were.
Yeah.
So,
I really enjoyed it. I
yeah.
like these characters. I think that there's a subversion of expectations with the surfer guy,
Yeah.
because he gets out and he's free. He's
Yep.
he's good. He's good to go. He doesn't have to come back. He doesn't have to help anybody. And this guy is dedicated to getting them out. He literally goes to any length to get them out of there. This is a guy who doesn't even know these people at all.
Yeah.
He seemed like an asshole in the beginning that only gave a shit about having sex. He even says there's like a joke in this where it's like all this guy likes to do is have sex and party or whatever, and he's like, I
Yeah.
like to have sex, surf, and party, like
Yes.
whatever.
Yes.
But you think like, oh, he's gonna be that typical kind of asshole character, and he doesn't. He doesn't. He flips it completely. Like he cares when the girl dies. He then
Mhm.
is freaking out. He doesn't leave anybody behind. He doesn't become an asshole at all. He's very much like, I'm getting these people out. He gets out. No one will help him. The cops don't listen to him. He breaks into their very shoddy
Police
evidence locker
station.
that has a wide open window to it with
Yes.
shotguns laying out and everything,
Yes.
which is one of the funniest things I've seen. But he doesn't care. He's risking it. He's going
Yep.
to go to jail for them. I mean, it is what it is. He jumps out the window. He loads the shotgun. It ends up getting him killed. But he does, you know, he unloads like 2 shots to the chest of this killer. Unfortunately for him, there's more than one killer. So he does eventually get dispatched. But he does save Linda Blair in the end
Yeah.
because she wouldn't have got out of there without him. So
Mhm.
I really liked his character. And then the love interest for Linda Blair's character is actually Doug from Friday the 13th, Part
Yes.
4, the guy who gets his head crushed in the shower, after he may or may not have had sex with our virginal character in Friday 4. I never know if they screwed in the shower or not. uh, I don't think they did. I think they fooled around, and then she went to like dry her hair and get ready to have sex with him in the bed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, I think when we
But she
reviewed
says
it.
like, I think I'm in love.
Mm.
Which I think she's trying to psych herself out so that she will give it up. But I thought maybe she was saying she was in love because she had sex.
Yeah.
That's always how I took that line. And you kind of see him like maybe screwing in the shower. So I was like, did they not? Doesn't matter because that's not the movie we're here to talk about.
No.
What we are here to talk about though is a gork.
Yeah, a gork.
We had to Google this one.
We had no idea. They kept saying like they're telling
He's
the
a gork.
backstory about this haunted house with these like deformed children of
The Garth family.
Yeah, the Garth family, and like how all the children are all deformed and all this. And he was calling one of them a gork, and we were just like,
It's like, what the fuck is a gork?
what is
You mean
that?
a dork?
Nope. It's like a
vegetable.
it's like a term for somebody
like
who's
brain dead.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. I don't think it's a scientific term. Or like because
they did say it was used in like in like doctors' offices as like a slang for people who are like vegetables.
That's like slang.
I'm sure it's like an offensive term. I feel like a lot of
those slangs come from like they did use them like medically, and then it was just like.
Well, sure, someone with like Down syndrome was like a mongoloid.
Right. Those kinds of Anyway, we had never heard gork before.
Never.
But they say
well, I had because I'd seen this movie before, but I completely forgot.
I never heard it, but they say it a lot in this, and it was funny because it's just a funny sounding word.
Yeah,
we were laughing at it.
Yeah, we were calling each other gorks quite a bit after this movie.
A lot of gork jokes.
A lot of gorks. Yeah, never heard it, but there you go. Maybe I don't know. This is an American film, right? This isn't a Canadian slasher.
I think this is American, but I don't know.
I think so too. I was gonna say maybe it's a term over in Canada because that happens, right?
Yeah.
Where we're like
the underwear thing from
Wolf Cop.
Yeah, Wolf Cop that we had never heard.
No, Gitches. Gitch. Yeah, Gitch. I was like, fuck is a gitch? So that's what made me think of it as the gitch.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe a gork over in Canada. People like, a vegetable.
Gork wearing a gitch is.
Yeah. Don't be a gork wearing a gitch. It's a gork gitch. Anyway. All right. Cool house. What a great setting.
Yeah, really cool.
Really, really great atmosphere with the house. You got all the like booby traps that are rigged up by the people, which is it works for a second, but it's funny to me that they continue to proceed
with all of the pranks
after the like speaker has been found and disassembled.
Yes.
No disassemble. Johnny Five alive.
No, I love that movie. Yeah. I was gonna say that the film has a really nice like it has some production value to it. Like in terms of, as we said, like the set and the fact that they have all these like the kills and stuff. There's some really good kills, I think. But yeah, it is funny that like the whole idea, like this is a hazing to put these 4 like new recruits into this haunted house and
pledges.
Yeah, the pledges.
Yeah.
And like they find the speaker for the very first prank of like, it's supposed to be some woman screaming or whatever. But then there's like they continue to go on.
They have this amazing holographic. I wonder too.
I don't know though. I felt like that was an actual ghost.
Yeah.
But there's no other.
We never get confirmation that it's a hologram
thing that happens aside from the Gork, I guess. But like,
I mean, it's possible they're like almost zombie-like, risen from the dead.
Yeah.
So maybe they are.
No, but the holographic like ghost thing that's amazing. That's not a prank that a college kid does. No, and we never see a machine that produces that image. They set it up, but we don't see the machine producing the image. But they do set something up. They set up stuff. We saw that they set up a hologram. I thought they set up like a projector. Oh, did they? That's what I thought they did. But we don't see it actually projecting.
No.
But
Okay, if we saw
when
them
she's
set up a
seeing it,
projector, then
they're
that makes
doing a
sense.
prank on her because the door like won't open,
Yeah, and then
and that's part of their prank. So I'm thinking it's probably supposed to be part of the prank, like a hologram projection, but it looks crazy. It looks crazy, like scary and real.
yeah, I mean, I
So,
I probably lean towards it's part of the prank, but I think that there's an argument to be made that that's an actual ghost. But then again, the argument kind of falls flat because we do not ever see a ghost again.
yeah.
Right. So I'm going to lean towards it's part of the prank and it's just a hologram. And as you said, if we saw them put a projector, I know we see that they have the little machine outside that like locks the door and unlocks the door that they find and the speakers and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But the projector is a one and done. And if we ever saw it again, yeah, I don't know. I think it should have been used one more time, maybe to even scare the antagonist as he
Yeah.
like comes at her, and then it flips on, and then he's like, oh, and she can get away. That would have been a cool little gag. But regardless, do you guys think at all it's supernatural if you've seen this movie? As far as the kills go, we've got the first kill is a decapitation that looks really good. We get a neck twist kill that looks pretty visceral.
Yeah.
We did a similar one in our Stranger Things short that we did, like Stranger Things inspired House Invader. Kaylee was evil, for anyone who's seen that video. Um, and there is a funny scene in this. It reminded us of the Muppets Christmas Carol, which is a house favorite, where this guy takes off his boots and then he finally jumps over the fence and then he has the guy like throw his boots over and he's like, oh, don't get him caught on the top, and he's like trying to aim him and this and that, and it's like
Like
the
you can
gate
just,
slots are like this big.
yeah, like you
He
can pass
100% can
the,
just put the fucking shoes through
yes.
them.
Yeah.
It was so funny. He was like trying to aim, like,
Just go
you're
through.
such an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great.
Any other Muppets Christmas Carol fans?
We love it.
We
Year
actually
year
have
round.
we have all the pop figures, the
Yes.
Funko Pop figures from the
It's the
Christmas Carol.
best Christmas Carol adaptation.
Yeah, I mean Scrooged with Bill Murray is a favorite of mine, but yeah,
Muppets
Muppets
Christmas
Christmas Carol
Carol.
is great. All right. Of course, the cops won't listen. He breaks into the evidence locker. Ridiculous. The door's wide open, and he just walks
We
in.
were laughing at that. Yeah, that was so stupid.
You've got these tunnels and whatnot with this creature chasing him through. As far as the look of
Yeah.
the killer, it's fine. It's good. It's like,
It's fine.
almost Jason Voorhees-esque without the mask, kind
What I
of.
like is that I think what works really well with the film is that people start being killed. Like the kids that are doing the pranking are the ones that start to go first, right? Like they get picked off one
Yeah.
by one.
Yeah.
So it like makes a lot of sense to keep all of the like main characters in their house. Like
Mm-hmm.
they stay alive until the end, and then once the girl is killed or kidnapped, and then there's the dead body, they all react off of that. Like I think that all makes a lot of sense because I feel like it could have been done poorly if people in the house started dying and they were like, this is part of a prank or something,
Yeah.
but it works really well this way
Yeah.
instead.
Yeah. No one would know.
Yeah, exactly. They have no idea. They think it is all just pranks until it's very clearly not a prank.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you're not going to kill off your main characters. It's good to get
Well,
the
of
cannon
course.
fodder out of the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
So it's a good way to do this. You've got a kind of classic dead bodies at the dinner table. I feel like is a very prominent like is very prominent imagery in the 80s. There's a lot of like dead bodies sat at like a party or
Yeah.
like at a dinner table. I don't know why this was used so often, but I kind of always love it. It's also the one I also love, is like a bunch of dead bodies in a church,
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
it's a cool
Like
image.
in The Ritual or in Insidious 2.
Yeah.
Or like I'm a big fan of like that.
I think it's creepy looking too.
When bodies are staged, or even in like House of Wax 2005, when everyone walks in and
Sure.
you think they're just people, even though those are like mannequins. I don't know. There's something about like what usually is living animate people, animated people,
Yeah.
having stand-ins for them as like dead bodies or mannequins or whatever. I've always been a big fan of
Mhm.
that. So it's only in here for a second. We don't really get any more to that. We don't really know why, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's you're joining the family. Welcome to the Garths. You're going to be one of the Gorks in the
Gonna be
Garth.
a new
You're going to be a
Gork.
Gork Garth.
Yeah.
Garth Gork.
A Garth Gork.
And then there is a scene where the monster guy, which is like I think one of three of them, he attacks them in the room. They put he has like a he rises from the floor with like a I
It's a
don't know, it's like a
rug.
rug.
Yeah.
And then they attack him and hit him to the ground. He's under the rug, and then she pulls the rug away, and there's an open trap door that he's fallen through. This makes no sense at
No.
all. None at all.
It
There's no
doesn't.
fucking way that could have been done. There's
Yeah.
no way he could have triggered the trap door. His body would have dropped out. The noise of it dropping, the hole is actually not even the right diameter for him to be able to lay down and fall through without like maybe bending his body,
Right.
and
He
so
would like crumple
it'd go
in.
ass through first, and he would then sit up to do that and fall through. There's no way he could silently disappear without them noticing at all that there's not a body under the rug anymore.
Yeah.
It is one of the more asinine things I've seen lately. I know it works for the film, and I'm not harping on it in a way. I know a lot of people are like, see, he does it too. I don't care. That's the difference. It's a fun scene. I still enjoy it. It's still entertaining.
Yes.
It's dumb as fuck. It makes literally zero sense. It is not possible in any way, shape, or form, but I loved it. Like I'm not down on it at all. It is, but I'm going to point it out. I'm going to point out the logistics and how unrealistic it is. It is insanely unrealistic. I don't care, but I'm going to point it out because it's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
And then a good callback to the opening of the movie. They set up something here that has a payoff later in the film, which is great. She says that she's a mechanic.
Yes.
And then the car isn't working, so she gets out, and you're like, oh, Kaylee did it. It was great. She was like, yeah, she's a mechanic. Like, she should be able to fix the car. Like, and then she gets out and fixes the car. It's really good. And then I love the way that she kills the last Gork. That's what I'm going to call him.
Yeah, I do too.
But she like backs into the gate, which then props it like this, and then she drives around and then sees the gate and then floors it, and then
because he's on top of the car.
He gets impaled by it. So it's like she creates this weapon.
Yes.
By smashing into the gate. I was like, oh, she can fix a car, but she sure as shit can't drive one because she's 4 feet tall, and she's like trying to see over as she's screaming, ah. Right?
Yeah.
It's hard to drive when you're that tall.
It's hard. But yeah, I like that kill too. I think it makes a lot of sense, like the geography of everything and how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
It was a smart idea that was set up earlier by the guy trying to climb the fence, and these things are like sharpened. They're like really knives. He touches them and it's like blood immediately. Yeah. These things are sharp.
Yes, they're really sharp.
So then it was a really smart gag to be like, later we're going to have her get in the car. We'll use her mechanic skills. Then she'll back into the thing. It'll prompt it as like a ramming tool for him to smash into. I think there's some pretty good writing in here for this kind of movie. It's not brainless. It has some smart writing in it.
I agree. Yeah, this is we watch a lot of slashers, and some of them, are, to varying degrees, are like more thought out than others. And this one clearly did have some thought put into it, which I appreciate, and some good kills.
No boobs though.
There's no nudity.
Nope. We get the t-shirt contest, which you kind of see something, and then there's the like slutty girl.
Yeah.
Who they're gonna have sex. And they supposedly do, but then they cut back and it totally teases all of that and then nothing. Yeah. And I was like, and another part of this that's always so funny to me, that is always worth mentioning. They do this in every one of these fucking movies. They go into the abandoned house to spend the night, and the beds are always like tip-top shape. The blankets, the pillows, they're totally sleepable. these things
The
would be
5,000
moth-eaten. There'd be rats in them.
Yeah.
They would be dirty as fuck. You can't. Yeah, and the 5,000 candles everywhere. Now, is it possible that they staged the place beforehand?
That's what I was
I guess,
thinking.
but the whole house is clean.
I know, but that's what
They
I was
hire
thinking
maids
because
they're breaking into the place. They shoot the lock off.
Yeah, I think that they set it up for them. At least like the rooms and stuff.
The whole place is in totally fine, clean working order.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
It is always the case in these movies.
It's true though. It is true. This one, the only argument I have is just that they would maybe the fraternity, like guys, just went in and
it's
cleaned
the
it
only
before.
thing that makes sense.
But at least there's that option.
Well, you
whereas,
had
like, a
also
lot of the
mentioned
others-
that earlier when we started it that maybe this is a historic location.
Oh yeah,
and
I
that they,
kind of
you know,
missed some
somebody
of.
keeps up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That's
I
possible.
missed some of the like dialogue at the very beginning when he's like explaining what happened with the Garth family
Mhm.
and like what the deal is with the house. Like I missed some of it, so I was wondering if maybe during that time he was like talking about like what, you know, what's going on with the house now. But yeah, I thought maybe it was like a historical place and they're just breaking in.
Yeah.
So
That's that. So Hell Night. Thumbs up. This is a good one.
Good.
This is a good one. Definitely a fan. And I'll try to locate another Linda Blair offering for later viewing. But yeah, for now, this will have to do. But yeah, real big fan of this one. This is a cool slasher from the 80s.
Yeah, it was cool.
So don't know what we're watching next, but we'll see you next week with whatever that is. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye, you gorks.
Bye, Gorks.
Now this is what a gork looks like. You guys want to see what gork? Here's a gork. Here's a gork. This is Grokey.
This is
Grogu.
Grogu?
Grogu. That's your name from now on. You little Grogu.
He was sleeping.
He looks like a little gork right now.
He does.
Why did I say Grork?
He looks like a Gork.
He's Gork. I'm the Gork. I don't even know how to say the damn word.
There
Anyway,
you go.
all right. Bye, guys.
Bye.